Hey, welcome back to the Trey Stewart program. If you're a patriot, go ahead and subscribe. Man, new year, new war. I love the smell of a new regime change in the morning. And I know some people are mad because they're saying that this is the opposite of what they voted for. Trump did say no new wars, but in his defense, he was lying. I hope that clears things up. But it's interesting, these people that are against Trump's actions with getting this dictator, because a couple months ago, they were just marching about how we don't want dictators. Well, we just took one out free of charge. We did it just out of the kindness of our hearts. We didn't do it for any thank you. We just did it because it was the right thing to do. And also for the oil, mostly the oil. It is funny how we only liberate countries that have resources that we need. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I know people feel weird about this, so I'm going to bring in a geopolitical expert and a great comedian, Dave Landau. Dave, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for calling me by the title I requested.
Expert. Gee, that's what every podcaster is now. We're all somehow experts in geopolitical landscapes. And, you know,
it's because people had the flu 6 years ago. Forced us into this.
Yeah, that was a really big shakeup. You know, this is what happens when you lock everybody indoors for a year and a half. We all do our own research.
Yes, and you get a lot of misinformation. I mean, you know, depending on where you're at. Obviously, you're telling it like it is, and I'm absolutely right. But other than that, you don't know where it's coming from.
Exactly. No, but I think this is kind of, what are your thoughts now that we've established you are an authority on the subject of regime change? If we're going to do it, should we do it the right way?
You mean stay there for 25 years and not really just take the oil?
Exactly.
I'm thinking I like not being gaslit. I like that a lot of it they just said, here's what we're doing. We're there for the oil. We pretended it was for cocaine, and that we care that you're all on fentanyl. No one actually does care. So at least you know what it's for. And look, if it lowers the gas prices, and it seems that a lot of Venezuelans are happy.
Yeah. I mean, our producer today, she's Venezuelan. I was just asking her. And you want to say something? Can you hear her?
What's up?
Yes, I can hear her. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Well, what do I think? I was telling Trey, as long as this means I can go vacation with my family safely again, I'm for it.
We can vacation again. That's great.
Yeah, it seems that Venezuelans have no problem with it, but there's just a lot of white people that do.
Well,
in America.
Yeah. Well, that's the real problem. Is white people in America are the real problem.
End it there. Go on.
I do want to play Hillary Clinton's advocate, if I may, and
please,
because there is a strong portion of people that did vote for Trump because of how anti-war he was, you know. So, do you think this is a smack in the face to the anti-war vote?
Yeah, you're voting for a politician because you think he's going to keep his word is ridiculous, and voting for a conservative because they're anti-war is also hysterical. Which could be either side. I mean, every time you say that, I think I have to follow it with Obama bombed a wedding. So just want to add that because I think that's the go-to to make it moderate. All presidents are going to have wars, all of them. It's how America stays in power.
That's true. That's a good point, man. And I think it's easy to be anti-war. I'm conflicted because a part of me is anti-war. But I do love a good trilogy. So
I agree. We don't even have a Civil War sequel yet. I mean, it's starting up.
It is, yeah. I don't know if you've seen Minneapolis or Minnesota.
Yes, Minnesota. I have seen it. It's gearing up. And I never thought that the Civil War general would be someone quite as gay as Tim Walz. I think there's no other way to put that. There couldn't be. I never thought it would start over $9 billion stolen from Americans for leering centers. It's all just, it's incredible, to be honest, that anybody cares this much.
Yeah.
I'll say I feel bad for the dog in the car. That was in the back. That's the footage came out today.
Yeah, and the poor white woman.
And if she had respected the laws of Islam, she wouldn't have been behind the wheel in the first place.
Holy fuck.
So I think you have to look at it that way.
I think you bring up some good points. Maybe this is where Mamdani's coming from. There's some good parts to Sharia law.
There is. The 5 o'clock wake up is not one of them, from what I understand.
No.
Waking up to what sounds like whenever you go to the Middle East in a Michael Bay film, and you just hear that like that's playing every morning at 5 a.m. in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I'd rather wake up to like Bop or the Macarena. It's the worst sound I've ever heard, and you can hear it in Dearborn, Michigan too.
Yes, you can. I remember growing up. There's a lot of them. Kind of. I think we had a good amount of Bengalis too.
Yeah, we had a lot of how should I put it? Shouldn't be here's.
I think that's the technical term. we had a lot of what you'd call anchor babies.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it is interesting because when you come over to this country in search of a better world, I'm not mad at people that come over here, if they follow the rules, but the fact that you come over here and you start frauds, you open up leering centers, you take $9 billion worth of taxpayer money. That money could have went to Bibi Netanyahu.
Exactly. Yeah. We could have sent that to the Ukraine, had it laundered, and then given back to the politicians.
Thank you. Yeah, we're interrupting a cycle. And
there's also 80% of them or something are on welfare. So, I mean, they've come in, they've done a good job milking the system completely.
And isn't that the American dream? I'm tired of people coming at these in defense of the Somalians. That is the American dream. What's better? What's more American than going to another country and taking their resources for yourself?
Snaps.
I don't think anything. That's a very solid point.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. They should be respected in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can understand ICE going in. And I don't know why ICE is such a spectacle. That's probably my problem.
Well, it's probably because they keep shooting people.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, they did shoot. I don't know how many people they've shot, but I think it's been a couple. They shot a black man over New Year's. No one talks about for obvious reasons. And then this.
Yeah, that's weird. Usually it's the other way around.
I know, right? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I think it's we've got so much going on. You can't keep up with all of the stuff. But pretty much ICE, I think you can agree if you watch the video and we'll show it sped up, but with funny music.
Sound effects?
Yeah, with sound effects.
Slide whistles.
Yeah, let's get that. Let's edit that in there. But if you watch, have you seen the slowed down footage of every angle? Because this is kind of it's hard to say that she was definitively trying to run over this ICE agent. He did get out the way with enough time to pull out his gun.
Yes. Yeah, no matter what people say, you're going to piss off one side or another. I mean, personally, no, I don't think she was trying to hit him.
Right.
That's just my own personal opinion. I think it was unfortunate. But yeah, I don't think she was trying to hit him. Now, I do think being in that situation on the other side, too, though, I don't know how tense it was getting. And if you've seen the footage of the woman talking, there are other reasons to shoot her than just driving the car. I mean, if they shot her based on personality, I would also agree with that.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of what Martin Luther King wanted, right? Shoot people not based on their color, but based on how annoying they are. That's really what Martin Luther King's dream is.
Exactly. He had a dream that young black men and little white girls could be shot for the very same reason.
I think that's a great dream. We have yet to achieve that dream. I don't think we're there yet. But I will say that
Baby steps.
Baby steps. It is a little unsettling though, watching the footage of the ICE, because it's like I'm not a cop. You know,
You're not?
I'm just a dirty jungle bunny.
You should have told me that before the interview started.
No, I'm not a cop.
If you say you're not a cop, it means that we can. All right, go on. Sorry.
No, I don't know exactly what procedure is, but I'm pretty sure that standard procedure in that moment for that federal agent, ICE officer, is not to completely let loose on an unarmed white woman. That cannot be the proper way to handle that.
Well, in fairness, have you ever had a car turned at you going 3 miles an hour? Like, have you ever felt that fear?
No, I haven't. So it's hard for me to it's hard for me to get inside the head of what that ICE, I'm sure his life flashed before his eyes.
Whatever job he got fired from to then apply for ICE with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, because that's the perfect job to get in. And if you're a bully, that's exactly who we don't want. Like, I am all for borders. I understand that we need police. That's all fine. But, you know, there has to be some, I think, some sort of training. You can't just give anybody a gun, right?
I was on a waiting list after I went in to get one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a background check, and they were like, you got to wait a few days. And I was like, all right, well, it doesn't change my background, but I guess I'll pick up the gun in 3 days.
Well, they'll check back in 3 days. Maybe your background changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I think that they're going after people that they don't need to go after. Now, if you want to go after the people who own the daycares, who are taking money, who are stealing money, that's who you should go after. I personally, and I've gotten plenty of backlash for it in all seriousness, but if you're here and you're working, like, I don't like that idea of, like, you know, it's black and white, a law's a law. Like, if you're here illegally, you're breaking the law. Well, if you're here illegally and you've been here 20 years and you're paying taxes, somehow you've gotten into our system, you've done nothing wrong, why bother? What are we doing? It's a waste. And it just seems we end up in these situations going after the people who have no way to defend themselves. If you want to go after the people smuggling in fentanyl, which is usually not the people you want to go after anyway, the people that send over, like the boats we're shooting out of the water, those aren't filled with drug lords. Those are filled with human trafficked donkeys that are being forced to drive the boats over.
Right.
Like, you're not killing the people that are the problem, even in those boats. You're just killing kind of innocent people that have no choice because they'll get murdered if they don't drive the boats over here.
On that note, I do want to go to the Honorable Kirk Metzger. I have a clip of Kirk. This is him talking to Daddy Rogan about the Venezuela thing.
Everybody voted for Trump to not have a war in Venezuela. I know that.
Right.
Nobody voted, so they're like, we got it. No fentanyl. That's a lie. I mean, I don't know what idiot thinks fentanyl is coming from Venezuela, but only liars and morons think that. And if I'm wrong, can we see the evidence? We saw the video of you murdering those people. I just got to take your word for it? That oily-haired fuck Pete Hegseth with his weirdo Catholic and Templar night tattoos?
A long, circuitous route. What did you say initially before that?
Venezuela. Why?
Okay,
everybody's
so
going to war.
Here's the thing. One of the boats, the remains of the boat just showed up. Mm-hmm. They just found it and it has marijuana in it.
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected then. Sorry, Joe.
But no, I mean, I'm saying to prove to your point.
They almost had marijuana.
No, it had. I think that's true. See if that was something that was in the news today.
They're calling a war crime. Nobody declared war, so it was just a crime to do that.
It's nice to see Ted Kaczynski back to life in a Davy Crockett hat.
Yeah, right.
I love Kurt so much.
It's great. Yeah, he keeps reinventing himself. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he made that hat.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know how.
But Kurt is going to be a billionaire once he releases his line of clothing. That's just his different costumes.
Yes, once he reads that once he reads a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think he's really going to be on top.
Yeah, but he is always. I mean, look, when he's always like on the money with this, and I just feel like it's definitely more complicated. I think, regime change. It's like people want to say, "Oh, we're doing this because they're coming over here." And, we have to stop them from coming over here illegally. We have to go over there and save them, from themselves. And at the same time, we're going to just collect this oil. I think that I just want people to be more honest when they're lying to me. It's like.
I feel that's the gas thing, though, is why I feel like that it is a bit honest when they're lying to you, because they went in there, they did swear in the VP, we're not staying there, we're not just going to hang out there, ideally like we did in the Middle East since 9/11 until Biden decided to leave all of our dogs and soldiers and equipment there, and then bring us
for
home
safekeeping.
Yeah.
We're going back.
Yeah.
We're going back to get it.
We're paying
great
for a
job.
storage unit over there.
Yeah, that we're using it as a storage unit. It's one. That's what the Middle East is, pretty much. Just one big storage unit.
It's where they put all the cars that don't sell.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, there's a desert of cars that a lot of people could use.
Yeah, not those women though. Not to drive.
No, that's why they have. There's enough cars for every woman to look at.
Look, but don't touch, bitch.
Yeah. What
all
a
right.
terrible place. Like, God made it out of sand. It's so weird all of our religions are there, where I don't think God wants anything to do with that place. I can't even believe shit grows.
No. In fact, didn't God make it his business to get his people out of there? He was like, y'all got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so you got to let's go.
Yeah. Let them have air conditioning. This is fucking insane. But so it's interesting. I think we'll see how things play out with Venezuela. We'll check back in, but I do want to move on to a little bit more depressing news.
Oh, good. I finally get off the fun topics of dead drug mules and.
All right, we've had our fun. We've had our fun talking about dead white women and dictators, but let's get down to serious business. I want to speak about the recent tragedy. I've held my tongue on this issue for a while. That's why I haven't said anything to get all the facts. And now that they're in, I think I can finally speak my mind. It is a terrible miscarriage of justice. Of course, I'm talking about Conan O'Brien being snubbed by the Golden Globes.
Yes, for the podcast.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, apparently the Golden Globes has smartly recognized that podcasts are a thing. They can no longer ignore them. So they had a category. Have you heard about this?
I have, yes, a little bit.
Daddy Gang. Hear me?
This one's a crazy story.
Roughly 115
Daddy
million
Gang.
Americans every week. That's approaching Super Bowl numbers. So who are we listening to? Studies show it's mostly white men.
As well we should.
So, yeah, the people we should listen to, not this librarian.
Are women behind the mic. Dominating the charts this year, podcasters who have become household names like Theo Von, Jane Gillis, and in the #1 spot, Joe Rogan.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Who are they interviewing? Women make up just 18% of guests on podcasts.
Good. That's too much, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's almost a fifth. That shouldn't even be the vote count.
Interests aren't being met. Experts say when one group dominates the mic, it creates echo chambers, leaving out opposing or differing views. Research suggests algorithms often favor established male-hosted shows, making it harder for new voices to break through.
So that's perfect, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make this an echo chamber, but I think we can agree that that's exactly what they should be.
Yes.
Male-dominated, mostly white, male-dominated.
Absolutely.
People who have authority.
Right. I mean, women should be seen, not heard, and not even seen.
Right.
In our producer's case, like, you can't see her; she's off camera.
Well, if you're Islamic, it's neither.
Yeah, if you're Islamic, women shouldn't be seen or heard, or you can't do anything. They got a good thing going over there. The more we talk about Muslims, the more I'm like, you know what, Mamdani's on to something for sure. That's why we'll see what New York, maybe New York is on to something. Electing.
And it might just become a male paradise. When you think about it.
I'm moving.
It's like,
back.
look, honey, I'd love to satisfy you in bed, but your dad had your clit cut off. Not my fault. Rules are rules. Now, if I can get my fourth wife to bring me a sandwich, this is all going great.
That's heaven, man.
Makes sense.
That's heaven.
Yeah, of course.
But
you never have to pick out carpeting with her. The only rug you need is to pray on, my friend.
Talk about a magic rug. All right. We got This episode is sponsored by Saudi Arabia, by the way. We got
I also just pictured Mom Donnie doing an infomercial for Magic Rug. Whatever that product is.
White men, all right? White men are dominating the podcast space, and people are jealous. That's what's happening. People are jealous. The Golden Globes, they go as far as to acknowledge that podcasts are a thing now, and not just a thing, but we are in the age of podcasts. So it was smart for them to recognize it. But then, did you see the list of nominees?
Yes.
The list of nominees, just in case people didn't see, I'm going to read a few of them. Smartless, Good Hang with Amy Poehler, some NPR podcast, and Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Yeah, that's who the people are listening to.
Yeah, we're always talking Dax.
I know. I can't tell you how many times I'm hanging with the boys and like, did you hear what Dax said this week?
Yeah.
This guy, he's talking to Brad Pitt about being depressed.
Yes. He's from Detroit, was a bit of a fighter.
Oh, he is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I don't know what part. And
Okay.
You know how you and I fully believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, he's totally from Detroit. Yeah, the safe part. Freaking.
Yes, the safe part that's not called Detroit.
Yeah. It's but I think, and I'm not knocking these people, right? Amy Poehler, I enjoy her podcast, but to not include Joe Rogan, Theo Von, what are we talking about? You know, it's insane. And if they want diversity, Candace Owens is a black woman with one of the top listened to podcasts. You know,
That's true. They should put Candace Owens on there just for the conversation.
they should. Yeah. How funny would it be if Candace actually like won?
In a room full of Jews.
Yeah, they were like, God damn it. Her investigation to Macron was on point. We don't like the Jew stuff.
Yeah. They're so self-hating, they vote for her to win.
I mean, it is a good listen. Candace, say what you will about Candace, but her production value is really good. But Conan O'Brien,
No, it's very solid.
yeah, Conan O'Brien. That's where I don't understand. He's not political. He fits right in with the Hollywood zeitgeist, and they don't have him on there. This list is garbage. It's ridiculous.
I think because they kicked him off of late night, then he went to TBS, and then he left TBS to do this. I feel they just can't. They can't give him his flowers. He's one of those people who's like the best at it. In all seriousness, especially at late night. I haven't heard his podcast a lot, but what I've heard, I've liked. But I don't think they want to give him his flowers. I think that's part of the appeal of Conan is never give him what he deserves or give him a taste of it. Like, let him have the Tonight Show for 3 months while Jay Leno does the 10 o'clock slot in front of you because he just refuses to leave.
Yeah, no, it's so they screwed Conan and he handled it with grace and class. And then he left late night, started a podcast. And I'm sure he's in his mind, he's like, well, I'm done. I'm out of show business. And then shoots back to the top. He's hosting the Oscars for a second time. So he's clearly like the best. And I think one thing that the media really don't like about Conan is he purposefully stays above the fray when it comes to politics. You know, it's not like we don't know Conan is a liberal guy, but he's not yelling at us, you know, about how terrible Trump is.
No, well, he's from Boston, so I think he's a Democrat, but I think it's that more classic Democrat and not this insane version of either party, which is just exactly the other party.
Yes.
It's just the same thing. I mean, he's just not going down the Kimmel and Colbert route, I guess you could say.
You know
where
what?
you're holding up shirts with slogans on them.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Actually, I want to play a clip. This is Conan talking about pretty much exactly what you just said, him choosing not to go down that route. Let's go to the Conan clip.
I think some comics go the route of, I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think, well, now a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled. It's like a siren leading you into the rocks. You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, screw this guy, you know. And I think you've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny, and you've exchanged it for anger. And that person or any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon. Will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool in the toolbox.
Yeah. So that's exactly right.
He's spot on for why late night has failed. Because they've done that thing where they don't make fun of everyone. And he had that, Letterman had that, Carson had that. You know where they stood. Craig Ferguson had that. And now we're stuck with, you know, I mean, Fallon's all right, you know, I guess.
Yeah,
for what he does.
Greg, he had Gutfeld on. That's like the first one of them to even extend an olive branch to a Fox News guy.
Yes, well, and it turns out they hang out they've hung out many, many times. And not that I'm surprised. I mean, the studios are like 30 feet from each other, you know. So, yeah, I think it's exactly spot on. And it's really gotten bad with late night, and people don't want to hear that. Even if you're on the other side, I think most rational people don't want to hear that.
Absolutely, yeah. There are already people out there that are doing the whole "fuck Trump, Trump is bad" thing. We've got enough of that. We don't need more. And I love Conan's response because he's like,
"And that's just Melania." Thank you.
That's we got to get that on Kimmel. We got to get you a late night show, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you do it, like that.
That's how you do it, man. You can take the normal out of the world.
No, and literally, you can cancel it.
But they can't cancel a comedic giant that is Dave Landau. No, I mean, seriously, though, people
I'm at the loony bin this week.
Go.
I was in arenas 2 years ago, and I didn't even get Me Too'd.
That's got to be the worst part about your situation is that you didn't even get to anybody.
No, I've only really tried to help people.
Yeah.
Yet my career it's just this trajectory of disappointments.
No,
sometimes you really feel like, oh, good, this is the resurgence. And then there's 30 people. And you're like, well, this room seats a lot more than that.
No, I think that there's ebbs and flows, but I think what you've seen is that people respect, just pure comedy, just people that are coming at it from an honest point. You do that very well, and a couple people do it very well. And I think that, your audience will find you. They found you once, they keep finding you, And I think that's the greatest part about YouTube and just the internet and the age we're living in is networks are dead. Golden Globes, TV is so dead. The Golden Globes had to recognize podcasts exist. That's how dead, TV's so dead. SNL hired Cam Patterson.
That's true.
The list goes on of like these. It's
they compared him to Eddie Murphy. I mean, what? What?
I mean, but that's all they got
Cam.
now.
We all love you, Cam.
No, yeah, Cam is better than that show. I think a lot of those people are. SNL needs them. Yeah, SNL needs.
I
them.
get why he did it though. I mean, I absolutely think he should have done it.
Yeah, and now he is doing a great job. Having a good time with all those white guys, putting them in a dress and a wig, because that's classic white guy comedy.
Look, that's the goal. Is we just want to dress up our black men as women.
You see, I could never think of such comedic genius like putting a black man in a dress. I didn't go to Harvard.
No.
So I didn't go to Ivy League school. So I could never come up with a brilliant sketch of make straight black man gay.
No, somebody thought, what's funny now that slavery's ended? How can we feel like we're still hitting them? Dude, I don't get it. The problem with that show too is I would say, with the exception of Keenan, who is, I think, honestly hysterical.
Yeah, and
maybe that's just growing up, but I think he's genuinely very funny. And What's Up With That was one of my favorite sketches because it was just I like the absurdist humor of it. But yeah, Lorne Michaels, like when Dean Edwards was on, you have a massive talent. He never did anything with him. He just doesn't know what to do with black guys. And when Eddie Murphy was first on, Lorne Michaels wasn't there. He wasn't part of SNL then. So everybody gives him this credit.
It was Dick Ebersol.
Exactly. So he wasn't part of it. It's when he left for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So Eddie Murphy was the best. I mean, he guest hosted the show while he was a cast member. I mean, it's astonishing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But that was a time when TV reigned supreme, right? You could be a television star. Now, I have friends that are on TV that I don't even know. I have a legitimate working actors that are in movies that I haven't even seen, because it's like there's just so many different options. But I think we're circling back in a way to radio. That's what podcasting is. Now we have, radio, but with TVs is pretty much podcasting.
And then we're going to start doing plays again after that.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we everything. I mean, it is interesting how like technology keeps changing stuff, and podcasts really are like the invent of television, especially in how they affect elections. TV obviously famously helped Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And the mob and everything.
Yeah, right.
Well, and Sinatra was the biggest star at the time, and his dad was a bootlegger.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so I think that you just can't have that today. Things are too fragmented, but in a good way. Like I said, it opens it up to podcasts and just people kind of doing their own research. You got Nick, what's that guy, Shirley? That guy that did the Minneapolis or Somalian Fraud. Yeah, he did.
Right.
He uncovered that.
Is it Nick Shirley?
I think so.
I think it's Nick Shirley. See, everybody's talking about him right now, and we don't even know the name. That's why, I can see somebody online. I'm like, you have 40 million followers.
Exactly.
I have no idea who you are.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No,
you can have your own niche market. I've not heard of you.
Oh yeah, there's several people, but I think that television, it's obviously dead. This is we're at the new frontier. And, white men reign supreme.
Yeah, what happened was we needed to get the white men in power again.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that since we met. That's how I introduced myself to you.
It is. I said, hey, I'm Trey.
And I gave you a way too firm handshake that made you question if I was comfortable with my own sexuality. And I said, white men are in charge. I'm Dave.
You know, and I'll never forget it. That's when I knew, oh, this he's a real one, you know, because we are. I was thinking it and you said it. Speaking of white men.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of white men in charge, I want to cover this. Joe Rogan recently did a pod with Shane Gillis, two great white podcasters. Probably the greatest of all time. And
I did, arguably two of the best and whitest.
Yeah. and they had a moment where they actually started to critique Donald Trump.
Same shit.
He's got to be writing his tweets. He fucked up on Twitter this week.
What, with the Rob Reiner thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's all crazy.
So if he didn't do the Rob Reiner thing and then put up those plaques, I'd be like, that's funny. But then the Rob Reiner thing, you're like, God damn it, dude.
Well, the plaques are crazy.
The plaques are crazy.
The plaques are crazy. This is what it's like. These are all the photos. What's funny?
Another good one.
Loud.
I think look at I think that's the photo for Joe Biden.
It's an auto pen?
Yeah.
Okay. That's so crazy. That's hilarious. That's so crazy.
Yeah, but again, it's still funny. When he does crazy shit and it's funny, I like it.
Right. But the Rob Reiner, the Rob Reiner thing is not funny, right?
No.
And that's like the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of thinking. And when you see it with no empathy, that's when it's hard to like.
Yeah. I wish he could apologize.
I get that Rob Reiner called him a rapist and all this other stuff and said nasty things about him. But the idea is if you're supposed to be a leader of a country, you have to be a leader. So in that situation, the only thing you should really say is we obviously did not get along. We had our disagreements, but he had a lot of great work. Rest in peace. I hope at that point, I hope they find his killer because, you know, they didn't even know the son had killed him yet when he was like, TDS did it.
Yeah, totally missed the mark, I feel like. And it was such an easy win for Trump. That's like the most frustrating thing about him is that, like, you know, his lack of empathy in those moments really makes it hard to completely, you know, forgive him. It's like if he was able to just show in that moment, hey, we had our disagreements like you said, but no one should be murdered. And then to happen, Charlie Kirk wasn't that long ago. We just went through this, right? People being insensitive when somebody was murdered in a terrible fashion. So I think that this
like I was at the beginning of this episode. But it's okay because it's me. That's
okay. Yeah, no. You're one of the good ones.
No, thank you. I appreciate. I needed to hear that from someone. Thank you. I've been feeling like one of the bad whites lately.
No.
Oh, good. Thank God. No, I think that's the truth, though, is like even the thing hanging up where like putting in bronze how awful Biden was in the White House. Maybe don't do that.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, you might laugh for a minute, but at the same time, what are you doing? Like, were you just walking by that and you're like, this should say something terrible? Let's call him Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Tell everybody it was garbage. Like, you don't, like, there's so many issues going on in this country that I feel it's hard to tell what's even real or fake or a psyop because at this point, like you said, it was such a slam dunk, and then when you miss it completely, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense where you have this like quick moment where you can unify, you can make yourself look good, and your job is to be a leader, and you don't choose to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly, and I think that's a lot of the crazy woke left. A part of their argument is, you know, forget about Trump's policy. He doesn't have the character and demeanor required in someone that is supposed to lead an entire nation, especially through times of hardship and tragedies, you know? And I think that's a good point, but I think that they tend to lean all the way on character. And so I think that's also a dangerous place to go because it's not just about character, meaning that, okay, so if Trump said a nice thing about Rob Reiner, but his policy was destroying America. That's not good, right? So I think we need a nice balance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, for real. Actually, we do need that. I don't know what character there is, because at this point, it's everybody. The idea is who's making the most noise is so far one way or the other. It's becoming excruciating.
Right. Yeah.
So I think anybody in power, even when Charlie Kirk died, what Kimmel got pulled off the air for, it didn't make any sense. You're using somebody in charge of the radio field or I forgot what it was, public, whatever, broadcasting, whatever guy prevents things from being fun, pulled the guy off of TV. But all of that I don't know, all of that's a problem. All of that should not exist. You should be allowed to say what you wanted to say, but most people in positions of leadership or even with followings or fan bases, for the most part, were very, very empathetic to Charlie Kirk. Yes. From what I saw. Now, if you're talking about psychos on TikTok and people dancing in the street and desecrating memorials, well, that's going to happen. That's going to happen with anybody who dies, because that's what people do. But leadership is different. You should be held to a higher standard.
Absolutely. And I think what makes the Trump thing with Rob Reiner, his response, what makes that even worse is that he did this with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but he did it the right way. You remember his response to Ruth?
Yes.
It was great.
I believe he was, yeah.
So he can do it. He just, which the pettiness, the level of pettiness that Trump has, because he's aware of the right thing to do, but he's like, man, fuck this guy. I just think that, a president can't be you can't go full petty. We got to measure the pettiness.
You do. I remember when I was destroying a Ruth Bader Ginsburg memorial, and
as we all do.
Right, you remember.
Yes.
We went to a couple of them. There was a candlelight vigil. We hit them all with a hose.
Yeah, good times.
So the candles couldn't be relit. Oh, it's good fun. Good fun. But I remember doing that, but I'm not at that standard of leadership. It's okay for me to do something like that.
Yeah, you're not the president. You don't have the nuclear codes.
Right. I've desecrated graves of people who I don't agree with, but I don't, it's because I can.
Well, yeah, I think even you have a line, and that's the thing. Trump has no line.
He doesn't, and I don't know, Rob Reiner was that perfect example, because either way, he was stabbed to death with his wife. Didn't you win?
Yeah.
Even if you're mad,
it's crazy.
If you really hate him, to the point that you think TDS, just then take the win. But in reality, it's a tragedy. It's a kid who a son who's mentally ill, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. The lawyers say he doesn't even know that he killed his parents.
Of course. No, of course it was. Of course this was just a mental health thing. But that's what makes it even sadder. And so Trump's, listen, he started off being funny. It's not that funny right now. But if I know one thing about comedy, it will be funny eventually. It will be funny again.
Tragedy plus time.
Yeah, so we just gotta.
And that's like the Rob Reiner thing. It's been enough time to say that Rob drinks adrenochrome and was probably molesting him.
This is what happens when you let gay people get married.
Exactly. Listen, I understand that two men want to wed, okay? But Rob Reiner is dead because of it.
Yeah,
and
I think that's
important.
That was beautiful, actually.
Yeah, and I think the way you put that is spot on.
Thank you so much. I get it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on, and I do want to go ahead and it is a new year, and I'd like to do some ins and outs for 2026. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
All right. So yeah, we got a new year, and for the new year, we're gonna list some ins and outs, things that are in and out. Dave, do you want to go first or me?
You go for it.
All right. In, doing your own research. Out.
Ooh.
right, you got to read. Out, drunk dialing your ex trying to smash.
That's a good point.
Right?
It's a good idea, but
Yeah.
all ideas sound good when you're horny because there's no blood in the brain, which is why I have been getting messages sent to my phone telling me to take blood pressure medicine for my half-hard penis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the AI is listening and it's trying to help. It's trying to help your dick get hard.
Yes. YouTube wants you to be fully erect when you watch it.
The creeps at YouTube.
Yes.
All right.
I'll say in fascism, out women's rights. What's your take on that?
I think that's, you're onto something. Yeah, fascism is definitely in, and women's rights. Look, we all know the saying when it comes to rights: if you don't use them, you lose them.
That's right.
So,
Yeah. And I think it's, I think we've learned from recent things like driving and speaking up. It's best we don't have those rights for you.
yeah, you don't. It's overrated.
Yeah, like if you were allowed to have if the woman wasn't allowed to have an opinion, she wouldn't be there in the first place.
Yes, yeah, that
You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
right. Yeah, we can leave that. Women, leave your opinions in 2025 because we don't need them where we're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we don't need. We've got it handled.
All right. Okay. I got one. I got some more.
Okay.
In the word retarded, never left really. Out vegans.
No. Well, okay. I as a vegan,
Wait, you're a vegan?
no,
Okay, good.
no. I just tell people I am for attention at dinner. I don't have much to talk about, so I'll always just make a big deal out of the menu and say I should have mentioned it earlier. And then I go, I guess I'll try steak.
That's good. That makes you an interesting person. Wow,
Yeah.
how unique and special you are.
Yes, they're like, wow, this guy is willing to give up whatever this veganism thing was just because he didn't want the left side of the menu.
Yes. You're a trailblazer. You're a trailblazer, a maverick,
Yes.
even.
And I will sit there and I will eat a very rare steak.
Good.
And I'll look angry, but I'm really enjoying it.
I think you're right. I think we can leave vegans in 2025. At this rate,
Yeah.
if you serve me a vegan steak, you should be sent straight to Guantanamo Bay.
Exactly.
We don't want your kind.
I don't even get what it is. And I've heard
don't
about
know.
it now for 30 years. And then people explain it and I go, that still makes no sense, right?
It makes zero sense. Yeah.
No.
Kinda
It's
like
just vegetarian. It's
Yeah.
like a gayer vegetarian. They should just go, I'm a gayer vegetarian.
They've reached a new level of gayness.
Yes. They're like, I swallow it and then spit it up, then swallow again.
Okay. And finally, do you want to take this last one or me?
It's your show. I say give it a whirl. I want to hear it.
Okay. The final ins and outs. In anti-Semitism. Out experts.
Well, as an expert, I'd like to hear your explanation on why I would be out.
Well, here's what's interesting is that you are both an expert and a straight white male. So
For the most part, sure.
yeah, so that's the thing. Is like we don't need real experts anymore. We've got white men with podcast equipment. That's where I get my
right.
news. That's where all the stuff and all these experts, these are the same experts that told us Joe Biden was alive.
That's true. And that wasn't right. There's been a lot of experts that don't have a lot of expertise, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like to be an expert, you should be an expert in the field.
Yes.
Call me old-fashioned. I guess that's not the way it's done anymore. What I do is I read a headline, then I go online and I see what the popular opinion is, and then I repeat it as if it's my own idea.
Oh, wow. That's genius.
It's pretty riveting. Yeah, it's pretty riveting. Nobody's ever done it. That way I stay in a nice safe space, and I'm still adored by the majority because I have a fear of rejection.
You know what? I don't know why everybody loves you.
Yeah,
you're killing it.
That's why. That's the secret. It's just always play the safe side, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the advice I give to everybody. Even if they're like, "How do I get into comedy?" I'm like, "Don't do it. It's hard. It's a long road."
Yeah, that's a good advice.
And this is back before everyone did it. It was like 20 years ago when people didn't want to be comics, and now everyone is.
Yeah, it is one of those things where it's oversaturated. There's too many.
Yes.
There's too many comedians, and not enough of them are saying slurs. Thank you so much, Dave, for doing this. Where can people find you and support?
Asking my wife where she hid our gun key, which is for myself, not for I don't hurt others.
Oh, good.
But, I went to find that the other day and I couldn't. And it turns out, the way the world is, she felt it's best I don't have it. But you can also find me at davelandau.com. You can find me touring as a stand-up comedian. I'm going to be all over the place. Trey does it with me sometimes, too.
Yes.
He was a regular on my show until that was also stolen from me by powerful white men, like I'm an indigenous person.
Yeah. I'm tired I don't like to see all this white-on-white violence.
No, it wasn't right. That was mine, and it was taken, and I'm hoping they indigenous give it back.
Well, hey, if they know what's good for them,
yes,
they will.
That's they certainly will, and I mean that as a threat.
But it's great to talk to you. Yeah, hopefully we get to do some shows again soon, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, when are you back in Austin?
I think I'm going to be there Monday and Tuesday. I got to decide I'm going to go down. I'm supposed to do Bottom of the Barrel on Tuesday, and I have a meeting at like 2. Nice. So I should be there.
Okay.
I never know.
Yeah, I guess
things happen. I hit a deer. Sorry. It's just...
I saw that. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then I got the car fixed, and today the basketball hoop in my backyard fell on the car. So I think I have a cursed automobile.
Wow. Yeah,
also, birds have hit it and broke the window, and the deer committed suicide into the car. I didn't hit it. He jumped on the side of it.
Oh, my God. Well, maybe the deer was trans, and it couldn't live in a world where people don't respect trans rights. Did you ever think of that, Dave?
Oh, my God.
Let's not rush to judgment, all right, on that deer.
That's true. In the winter, my basketball hoop doesn't know what to be.